So I was going through some old boxes the other day and I came across my old mobile cell phone. This is a Nokia cell phone from, I believe, 1998. I think model number 5160i. And so this was the type of cell phone we had of the day. And it was pretty small comparatively. Earlier phones were much bigger than this. So this was perhaps one of my first cell phones, if not the first cell phone I ever had. And so I went ahead and plugged it in, and sure enough, it still works. It took a little while to turn on, but it definitely did power up. And the battery inside is no good. So if I were to take out this cord, the charge would die pretty quickly. But you can see right here that it's saying that of course it has no service and that it's fully charged. But again, if I unplug this cord, the charge would fall off pretty rapidly. So you'd think one of the first things to do when you find an old phone is to maybe go through the contacts and maybe either save or delete some old things that you had stored, like phone numbers, etc. And yeah, I eventually did do that. But actually the first thing I did for this phone is I went to the menu, found the games, and found the game Snake, because that's the thing that I really cared about with regards to this phone. Okay, so again, I went to the menu, and then there's phone book, messages, etc., call log, settings, and sure enough, games. Now, if you hit games, I had 3 different game options. The first one was a memory game. I don't know what's going on here. The first one was a memory game. The second one was Snake, and Snake was extremely popular. And you might have actually heard about this game because it has crept its way into other video games and phones over the years. But Nokia was actually the first ones to develop the game Snake in 1997. And so just a year before this phone came out. And it basically was a staple of all Nokia phones for years. So let's go ahead. The last one was a logic game. And those were just the 3 games that when you're bored, you would play on your phone. But basically everybody played Snake. And so here you go, Snake. You could have a new game, top score. Now I think the top scores, we'll have to, now just for reference, my top score was apparently 150, probably not very good. And then there's instructions here. So just start a new game. It's pretty simple. You have this little snake guy and he's about to hit the wall and it's 0. Basically. So the way you can control it is you use the 2, 4, 6, and 8. So the 2 would be up, 8 is down, 4 is left, and 6 is right. And what you want to do is you want to control your snake. Let's start a new game. Let's see, new game. You want to control your snake. If I can get this thing started again, let's start a new game. There we go. And so you want to hit the 2 to go up so you can start moving up. And then you can turn right. You can go down. You can go right again. And basically, the snake just moves around. If you hit a wall, the game is over. So you don't want to hit a wall. But what you're trying to do is get that little dot in the middle. So if I turn really quickly, I got it, and that's 1 point. And when you hit that little dot, your snake actually gets longer. Well, there I go. And so I basically earned 6 points there. So as you make the snake go longer and longer, the game becomes harder and harder. Because one thing about Snake is if you bump into yourself like that, the game is over as well. So the longer the snake is, the more difficult, because you not only have to avoid the walls, but you also have to avoid your own self, the tail of yourself. So let's go ahead and play this a little bit. I'm doing this actually on the phone, or excuse me, on the camera, so it's a little more difficult to do. There's 1. And you're just basically getting that little dot, and every time you get that dot, the snake becomes longer. Here you have to position yourself a little bit here, right against the wall, and bow. There we go, we got that one. And so that's basically the object of the game. And again, your snake gets longer and longer, and it gets harder and harder to kind of avoid your own tail. So like, and if you're really good, you could almost fill up this entire screen with your snake. And you're probably already noticing the snake is getting longer and longer as I go. Where is it now? There it is. And so again, if you accidentally hit yourself, the game's over. Here I have 27 points, and you saw my top score was 150. So I wasn't really that good at the game, but it did help out when I was bored. And I actually had hours and hours and hours and hours of entertainment in short little bursts with this game, Snake. So that's about all I have for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. I will see you next time. Bye-bye.